I don't know if that's loud enough. We'll do the best we can. Hi. How we doing? Hopefully I'll be able to see comments and stuff. Feels like it's been a while since I've done this. I'm gonna forget. Can you hear me okay? I hope so. I'm out of sorts. Okay. How are you? I don't see anybody in the comments here. So don't know what that means anything. Maybe it takes a minute for it to Oh, good. I see a comment now. Oh, there we go. Hey, buddy. All right. Good. There's Steve. I think Charlie's at the Guns N' Roses concert tonight. I don't think he's going to be here. All right. Nice to see everybody. Thanks for stopping by. A little patchworky tonight. A little patchworky. All right. I feel that I know it seems like a year and a half ago, but I feel like if I don't do, it doesn't matter. You know what? I'm going to do what I'm going to do. If you don't want to watch, you don't have to watch. I don't care. I was going to say a couple things. That's what I do. I stay stuff here. What's up, Gio? All right, so I'm going to let's see. I got no show and tell. Again, I'm waiting. I think I got some good show and tell coming from Europe. I'm looking forward to that. I think. You never know. Some people are flakes. But looking forward to that. Anyway, I hope I get it before the Tour Championship. If I don't get it, all right, we won't do show and tell. I'll just appreciate the present. Anyway, so no show and tell. So if you've been watching the last couple of weeks, I've had an announcement or I had something I wanted to say, and I couldn't remember what it was. And then I finally remember what it was like a half hour before the show last week. And then when I got on the show, I forgot what it was. Then I remembered again. I wrote it down so I wouldn't forget. And it seems like a lot of work for a real bullshit announcement. But since I remember, now I have to tell it. But it's like, well, it's really not a big deal. And it's not a big deal. It's just something I wanted to say. All right? What's up, CJ? I got all sorts of liquids here. I got some Pepsi left over from dinner. I got my bottle of water, and I got a cup of coffee. So I might have to stop the show to go take a leak. All right. That's all right. I feel a little lethargic. I got a headache. I took some Advil. I should be fine. Anyway. All right, so this is what I wanted to say. It was kind of cool. I've been meaning to shout out this guy for like a month, and I keep forgetting. So there's this guy on Twitter. Shit, now I'm not going to remember his Twitter handle. It has some association with Rutgers. I think it's Rutgers. Are you Hoops Recruiting? Something like that. It's a recognizable Twitter handle because it's basketball, Hoops Recruiting, Rutgers. I think it's Rutgers. And I guess he follows me or whatever. He watches the show. I've seen him in the. I sent him a DM once because I asked him if he knew my dad because my dad does business with Rutgers, And, my dad's a bit of a character, and he's got a lot of relationships with some people in the athletic department over there, what have you, whatever. And he was telling me about a guy that's involved with like Rutgers Radio, that my dad was telling him about this show and whatever, and he was talking about it. And then I see a guy on Twitter with a Rutgers handle, and it's like, oh. So I sent him a DM one day, and I said, hey, do you know my dad? Like, you're the guy my dad was talking to me about? And he said, I'm not sure. What's his name? I'm like, believe me, if you knew my dad, you wouldn't ask me what his name was. You would know. Anyway, long story short. So I kind of like know this guy, but not really, just from a name recognition standpoint. So I'm at work. This is a couple of weeks ago, and I'm not on my route. I'm doing like a couple of streets on somebody else's route who's on vacation. And the stop is at one of the libraries in town. So I go in there like a schmuck with a letter, and I drop it off and say hello to whoever's like around there. I just say, hey, am I going in the right place? Whatever. Fine. Good. I leave. Next day, I got to do the same thing again. Do the same four blocks that I did the day before. I go back into the library. Go in the library. I know where I'm going now. I go in, I see the guy. Now, I always have earphones in. I'm listening to music. I'm listening to podcasts, whatever. Plus, I don't like to be bothered. Everybody loves to talk to the fucking mailman. All right? So I don't like to be bothered. So I go in there, and somebody starts to talk to me. Of course. So I got to hit the pause button. And the guy asked me, he says, hey, are you Nagel's Bagels? What? Yeah? He said, yeah, I saw you here yesterday. I thought it was you. I don't want to say anything. I'm paraphrasing. This is basically what happened. And I said, I watch your show for, every once in a while. He threw that in every once in a while. All right. He asked me how this was when Xander was playing in the Scottish. It was the week of the Scottish Open. So this is a couple weeks ago. He asked me how Xander was doing. I'm like, I don't know. I haven't looked. I haven't really been paying attention. I don't really want him to win the Scottish Open. We got the British Open next week. But, And that was a bad job I made. He caught me like with my pants down, where I was like, I don't know what's going on with Xander in the Scottish Open. I probably should look. I'm a bad fan. And he's like, RU Hoops Recruiting. I'm like, oh, yeah, I know that name. Oh, that's great. And so that was the first time. It was the first time somebody knew who I was because of this show. And I just thought that was kind of cool. And I wanted to share that because, that's kind of cool. I was going about my business, and all of a sudden it's like, now I don't know if he knew that I worked in that town. I don't think so. I could be wrong, but he saw me and he said, hey, are you Nagel's Bagels? That's interesting. I texted my dad, my whole family. I'm like, I just got recognized. I know, I'm a big loser. All right, anyway. So that's that story. All right, real fast. I know the 3M was like 2 weeks ago, but we did have a listener league winner, and he should get his proper congratulations. Here's the problem. I have no idea how many points he won by. I don't know what his lineup was. I don't know if it was a good lineup. I don't know if it was a shitty lineup that happened to win, which happens, by the way. But M. Carter 628, who also won the match play. So the match play, he won the 3M. He's not, a lot of liquids. He's not leading the race for the bagel. He's in like the top 10. But he's not on Twitter. He's one of those guys. So he reached out like via email or whatever. So maybe he watched the show. So congratulations, M. Carter. Mike, I think his name is Michael. Mike Carter. M. Carter 628. He won the listener league. I already sent the ball out, although he can't post it on Twitter because he's not on Twitter. Although he had it, used to be, because I sent him a trophy ball when he won the match play. So, recent social media boycotter. Anyway, we'll do notable top 10s, and then I'll say one thing about the 3M, which is kind of funny, and then we'll move on to this week. Notable top 10s. Notable top 10s. Everybody's favorite segment. All right, so M. Carter 628. He won. I don't know by how many points. Second place, K. Brereton, PGA. Who's Kevin's delight. He runs the Junkies League. He's probably going to brag. He was probably a little arrogant about finishing in second. But you know what? You didn't win. So, screw you, Kevin. I think it's Kevin. Apologies. Third place, M. Ferreira. Never seen that name before in my life. Look at this. Look at this. CNB 1919. You know who that is? That's our boy Charlie. And I know he blames Hank Lebioda. I don't know if Hank Lebioda was in this particular lineup. He probably would have won the Listener League, which would have been awesome for Charlie to win once. But notable top 10 for Charlie, which is a good accomplishment in itself. So congratulations to Charlie. Notable top 10. Comedy Mogul, who still hasn't said anything funny, finished in 5th. Congratulations. Boss Gobbler DB. I've seen that name before. I don't know who that is, though. C. Daly 487. Hey, you got all these newcomers just invading notable top 10s. Never even heard of these people. Coach Scott with 3 T's, former winner, I think. I don't know what tournament. Notable top 10, he finished in 8th. Music Boy, that's our boy Gio. Nice guy. He finished in 9th. He got a couple points. Notable top 10 for Gio. He was a little upset. He thought he finally gets notable top 10s, no show. So this notable top 10 segment is for you, Gio. All right, congratulations. And a tie for 10th. This is the first time this has happened. Each of these guys gets a half a point. Primero 0322, who won a couple weeks ago at the Travelers, and RE-WCB, he got a half a point. So our boy Big Red sent out the standings. I retweeted it, so it's out there. If you want to see where you are in the race for the bagel, we got 4 weeks left. It's really wide open. If you're within 40 points of the leader, you can win the bagel. It's not bad. Since we're talking about the Listener Week. I don't know what to do for next year. I might keep it the same. What I want you to do, though, send me some ideas. Send me some Listener League ideas, what you think I should do for next year. So I could boost it up to 150 people. That's a lot. It's a lot of people. That sucks. I don't really want that. And it's not to the point where people can't get in. I might want to boost the prize. Maybe throw me some ideas. Let me know what you think I should do with the Listener Week. I had the golf balls. I kind of still want that to be a thing. I need to get more, but maybe I could add another little thing to it. Send me some ideas for the Listener Week. And let me know. I'm thinking about doing a 50-person league for the fall swing season. A little fall bagel swing. But it'll be $10. $10 contest with 50 people instead of 100. But you'll still win the 450. No trophy ball for that. No trophy ball. All right, I got to hold on to my balls. But just something for fun. Because I'm really not into football. The Giant season's already over. I don't care. So I'm gonna be dabbling. Maybe I can make a lineup. I'll be betting on golf in the fall. Maybe I'll run the Listener League a couple of times. $10. Yeah, maybe you're interested. Let me know. I don't know. All right. Enough about that. So at the 3M, let me just say this, all right? Because I told you, I didn't care. I'm trying new shit. I got to do some experimenting, see what works for me, because I have to try to build for the future. Because what I've been doing has not been working, right? We talked about all this. So one of the things that I did, I was looking at like the odds and looking for discrepancy in the odds and value and all that bullshit. And I found it, and then I didn't play it because I'm a fucking schmuck. So, case in point, Adam Hadwin, $7,200, 80-1, and all the other guys at 7,200 were all like 130-1. Hadwin, clearly the value there. 80-1, mispriced, whatever. Should play Adam Hadwin, right? Right. Do I do that? No. I take him out of the lineup. I put in Kyle Stanley. Kyle Stanley misses the cut for the first time in 3 months or whatever it is. And Adam Hadwin, T6. Are you fucking kidding me? This is the type of shit I'm talking about. Took Hadwin out of the lineup. Found the play. That's the guy. Play Adam Hadwin. I'm like, oh, well, he's missed like 3 cuts in a row. Kyle Stanley hasn't missed a cut in forever. I'm going to play Kyle Stanley. Yeah, good call, asshole. And Adam Hadwin finishes T6. So I might be onto something there. So I'm looking around, doing some digging. I'm looking at numbers. I have to try to take like my bullshit logic out of some of my picks. Because, like I said, what I've been doing has been working. So I just wanted to mention the Adam Hadwin thing because I think it's hilarious. I thought it was hilarious. Bob McIntyre, who was my one and done pick that week, birdied 16 to get under the cut and then promptly bogeyed 17 to miss the cut. That was great. And Grillo missed the cut by 9 miles, so it didn't matter. But I just would have, 5 or 6 was in play. McIntyre, late bogey, Hadwin, late switch out, whatever. It's fucking 3M. Who cares? No. Okay, so that's it on the 3M. I'm done talking about that. I did like a 45-minute podcast talking about Xander with my friend Andy Lack. You could find it. And if you want to hear all my Xander Olympic thoughts, you could do that. If you're coming here, I gave everything I had to that 45 minutes. I have no other thoughts on Xander winning the gold medal. I think it's great. I'm happy. I wouldn't have won any money if Sepp Straka wasn't first-round leader. But all the stars were aligned. I hit the first-round leader. I had a nice chunk in my account. I made a withdrawal, but I left some in there. I'm like, Xander's odds seemed off. And I'm like, all right, this is going to happen. I bet Xander, and it worked out. And I had a huge week. Of course, it was a week that I didn't do a show. Of course, it was all working together. So fine. I had a good week this past week. I had no show. I didn't give a shit about anything. I didn't really want Xander to win the gold medal. Of course you won. Of course you won. But I'm not going to sit here and take any bows because it's the Olympics, and I don't give a shit about the Olympics. And by the way, shout out to you guys. Every one of you pains in my asses who watched my Olympics sucks rant and then saw Xander win a gold medal and then didn't remind me of what I said about the Olympics. And or like calling me a fraud or anything like that. I appreciate that. Now, you have to be like a real loser to go out of your way to go back and find the quotes and retweet, and you got to do a lot of work to bust my balls. It's not worth it. So whatever. But nobody did that, and I noticed. I try to get out of it. I'm like, the irony of this whole thing is not lost on me. I understand. I get it. It's hilarious. Ha ha. I get it. But I'm not upset about it because I had a huge weekend. I won like $2,000. It was awesome. It was awesome. All right. And what did I do different? I have no idea. What did I do different that all of a sudden I finally hit a winner? I did not care even a little. I barely spent any time. trying to take my head out of the whole thing. All right. All right, so let's talk about WGC. Anybody got anything? You're welcome. Thank you. Now, show did amazing. Typical gamer. No show did amazing. My lineup results. Do I need to talk about that? I don't need to talk about that. Top 20 recap. We did that. All right, so let's talk about WGC. Anybody have anything? Anybody want to say something? Any question, comment, concern, suggestion? Anything? Hit me. And we'll just go to WGC. All right? All right. I mean, I had such good calls. Shez Reavy with a T11. Jason Duffner. T28 at Jason Duffner. That's a great pick. Sergio T25. And I swap out Hadwin for Stanley. He misses the cut. McIntyre bogey 17. He misses the cut. And Grillo, who was like a huge chalky favorite, which I never play, but I do because I'm a freaking idiot, misses the cut. So I had a really good lineup and 3 of 6. Bothers me. Anyway, Brooks Y5 if he doesn't WD. Who should I bet on? Don't overthink. I'm trying not to overthink, Charlie. I really am. Steve, I'm going to tell you, I don't know who you should bet on. Honestly. This is a betting show. We're going to give out some picks. I got some stories I'm going to tell. Because I originally told we're going to go through some guys. All right? I will agree with a value lead, Charlie. I like that. I thought you were at Guns N' Roses. What are you doing, sweet child of mine? All right. I don't need this. I don't need that. I'll put this on the side so I don't get confused. I don't think I need any of this. All right. Hey, screw you, clam diver, you jerk. All right. So, WGC Memphis. Now, I looked at my 2 lineups from 2019 and 2020. And I didn't go back and watch the shows. I didn't look to try to find the reason why I took some of the guys I did, but I could tell by some of the guys, I was going for a certain skill set, and I'm just terrible. It's not the skill set that I should have been looking for. I had a lot of short knockers, like grinders, because this golf course had a lot of water, and you have to be able to save par, and there's smaller greens, and I don't have to go back and watch the show. I know what I was thinking when, why do I have Ian Poulter in one of my lineups? I know why. Now, I will say that in 2019, this was the week after a major. And last year, in 2020, it was a week before a major. That may screw up motivation, and it's just they got no flow. A week before a major, it's like a tune-up. A week after a major, it's like maybe a letdown. It's hard to glean. It's hard to glean information of where it was in the schedule. Now, if you looked at some of the leaderboards for the last 2 years, I just went back 2 years. There are some short knockers up there. You got Fitzy's got a good course record here. Webb's got a good record. Shez Reavy, T6. Abe Answer, T15. Brendan Todd, T15. Ian Poulter's got an 8th. But if you look at the winners, you got your DJs and your JTs and your Brooks, and you're like, Bombers. Got to be Bombers. It's a mixed bag. I don't think there's a definitive skill set for this golf course. There's water everywhere that could fudge up your numbers and your strokes gained and everything else. And I think that's why I've struggled putting together a decent roster at this golf course, because it's a lot of variables. You could be long off the tee. You got to be in the fairway. You got smaller greens. You got to be good around the green. You got to make some putts. It's Bermuda. and it's water, and it's a week before a major, it's a week after a major, it's fucking hot. There's a lot to factor in. There's a lot of money at stake at the first WGC. I guess the one at concession. Like I noticed the leaderboard in the top 5, there's a lot of the young guys who haven't really done anything yet in terms of just earning power. Like they're doing okay for themselves, but they're not like mega millionaires yet. Scheffler was up there. Hovland, Morikawa won. Like with the exception of Billy Horschel, there was a lot of younger guys cashing like big checks at the WGC. It was like, oh, maybe that was a motivation thing. Maybe you get that here. Now you got the Olympics and people flying in from overseas and fatigue and jet lag and time changes. And it's just so much. So much. So what did I do? I changed my mind 100 times. I have no idea who I like. It's impossible. This week sucks. I want to get to the Wyndham where I'm more comfortable and we're in the right time zone. And then we got to Liberty and then another course and then East Lake, and then we could shut the computer off till January. That's what I'm hoping for. But we're going to do the best we can. I'm not even going to mention that. So I haven't had a lot of success with this event. I had Webb as a one and done when he finished T12. I had Matt Kuchar as a one and done one year, T43. Again, short knockers, fairway finders, but it's bullshit because if the Bombers are playing well and Bombers are making putts, it's about my boy Andy Lack really sold me out a good point where a lot of the second shots or the shots into the green are all coming from like the same range. So you just need good wedge players and, wedges and putting. That's why Webb Simpson's got such a good record here. That's why he's 20% owned this week. It's about wedges. And all the guys that played in the Olympics, they're all got much lower ownership than anybody who's not. Maybe people are overvaluing or undervaluing that. So it's hard to find an angle that you can attack with. So I'm like all over the place tonight. All right? All over the place. Some guys are all over the place. All right, so let's talk about it. All right? Let's talk about it. Charlie's a big chatter. I texted my brother on Monday. I said, hey, buddy. I said, if I were to tell you that you needed good iron play for small greens and people are kind of comparing it to Pebble Beach, who does that make you think of? Without missing a beat, my brother, who's all grown up, says Jordan Spieth. I'm like, yeah. It's going to be Jordan Spieth's week. Now, I had this little text thing before I looked at what his odds were on DraftKings Sportsbook. And they were low. Like alarmingly low. Like, oh, well, wait a second. No. Jordan, his odds shouldn't be that low. Like that'll drift. And I was sitting here Wednesday night. Number hasn't fucking budged. There is a possibility Jordan Spieth wins this tournament. I was right all along. And I overthought it to the point where I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to play Jordan Spieth. My buddy Steve texted me like, "Oh, I'm at the sports book. Who should I bet?" I'm like, I kind of like Spieth. So I've kind of been on Jordan Spieth all week. He was going to be my pick, and then I found out that I can't do that. So I'm not picking Jordan Spieth. Maybe the Pebble Beach thing is a coincidence. I know you got Berger, you got DJ. I understand where people are going with that. Even Brooks at the U.S. Open at Pebble. DJ can win anywhere, right? And Berger won Pebble. I don't know. I don't know if that it's small greens. I get it. I get it. But it may not be the same thing. Let's just assume for a second that just because you played well at Pebble Beach doesn't mean that you're going to play well at Southwind and vice versa. Is that outlandish? I don't think so. So, much to my chagrin, I'm changed my mind on Jordan Spieth. So where do I go? Do I play a 27% owned Brooks Koepka, who hasn't played golf since when? The Travelers? Or no? What did we just have? I don't even remember. The Open. Probably hasn't played golf since the Open. That's what I meant. And he, I know he's got great course history here. Now, again, remember, last time it was a week before the PGA Championship. That's a motivated Brooks the week before a major. Always tunes up well. Now, the other years, yeah, he likes it here. All right, I get that. And he could hit, yeah, but he could also not hit. You follow Jenna Sims. Jenna's frolicking around all over the place, the wedding plans and shooting this and commercials and party time and the chefs in New York. And there's all sorts of stuff going on in Koepka land. He's going to be 27% owned because he finished second here a week before a major. I don't know about that. It's dangerous. So no Jordan, nor Brooks. Colin and Xander, listen. Colin won the Open. Xander won a gold medal. But a lot of traveling, a lot of stuff. It's like, take a week off. What are you doing? Dustin Johnson. I've said this before. I'm saying it again. I never got Dustin Johnson right. It would make sense if this is like the drift is on DJ or whatever. You know, he's 18-1, might be closer to 20, depending on where you look. He just doesn't do anything for me, DJ. He just doesn't do anything for me. I'm not like scared of him. I respect the game. Don't get me wrong. And he has these moments. He has these ridiculous moments and spurts, and like nothing he does surprises me because he's fucking Dustin Johnson. I understand that. But I just don't feel good. I just don't feel it. I don't feel good about it. There's nothing that makes me say, yeah, DJ, yeah, this is going to be definitely. There's no definitely. And I want a definitely. Even if I'm wrong, I want a definitely. So all these guys over 10,000, I liked Spieth. I just kind of ignored it. And I went down to the nines, and I started down there. But then when I got to my last guy, once I did my 9s and 8s and 7s and did all my shopping, the guys I liked, I still had over $10,000 left. It's like, all right. So I have Rory as my top price guy, Rory McIlroy. Now, I know he played in the Olympics. He's less than 10% owned, probably because he played in the Olympics. He finished fourth, right? He was battling. Now, I was talking before about wedge game, and I poop on Rory all the time about his wedges because if you watch Rory, that is like the weakest part of his game. His wedge game can be off and scary. And if this is a place where you have to hit a lot of wedges, that doesn't exactly play into Rory's hands. Now, He does have a 4th place finish here. He does have a 7th place finish here. Somebody wrote him up and mentioned the greens at Quail Hollow are the same as the greens here. If that means anything to you? Here's the other problem. All right. Now, my one and done season is over. And this is a WGC. It's a top 10 tournament. The only guys I have in the top 10 left available is Louis. I have Victor Hovland available. I got Rory available. I had Louis in the lineup. Louis was going to be my one and done pick. You know, we do the whole thing with the 6th ranked tournament of the year, and Louis is the 7th ranked player in the world. Like, just play it. Don't overthink it. Don't put your own like crazy narrative thinking logic into. Just let the system make the pick for you. Because every time you don't go by it, you end up getting more times than not, you end up screwing yourself. And Louis will finish 2nd or 3rd, and Rory will end up in 11th, and I should have picked Louis. Am I going to do that? No. Next year, I'll follow the chart. Now, I feel a little bit bad. Like, I'm going to pick Louis over Rory. Come on. I can't do that. Even if it makes sense, Louis like 20% owned. He can WD any second. He does. I'm talking about somebody who does nothing for me. Louis does nothing for me. At least Rory is like, all right, maybe get some Rory vibes. Get a little, maybe got to survive a bad wedge every now and then, but let's play Rory. Feel good about it. But you know what else I feel good about? Having JT also. Rory and Justin Thomas. All right? JT, defending champion. 13% owned, much lower than all the other guys. If it's wedges, right? And look where he's priced. Like, I know he played in the Olympics, and I know he hasn't won since the Players. We're talking about a WGC FedEx event. That's Rory. That's JT. Those guys are like those are the PGA Tour guys. Those are FedEx Cup champions. Those are FedEx Cup champions. This is what they do. They win the Players. They win WGCs. They win playoff events. They win FedEx Cups. This is what they do. And I'm getting them both at depressed like ownership, and I mean JT's 7th in pricing. Rory's 6th in pricing. It's something's amuck there. Now, but their odds are Rory's like 25-1, which is gonna have to bet that. Steve, you asked me who you should bet. If you can get Rory at 20, 25, I would bet that. Don't bet the house. That's for entertainment purposes only. That's an interesting number. All right? He just played in the Olympics. Maybe he's motivated. He has I don't know. They're all good. But DJ and JT have the same odds. They have the same top 10 odds. And JT's $300 less. He's less owned. Rory's even lesser owned. His win odds are higher, but his top 10 odds are basically the same. And I'm stacking Rory and JT, the Pontevedra boys, all right, like a tag team. I'm not going to fuck around with Louis and Victor Hovland. This seems like this got like a very Florida golf course feel to it. I'm not going to play Hovland, who hates Florida golf. I'm out on Bryson. But yeah, everyone's like playing Scotty Scheffler and Daniel Berger. I understand. I'm not an idiot. But I'm going to play Justin Thomas and Rory McIlroy. How about that tag team? I'll play those two guys against any other two guys from $9,000 and up. JT and Rory. That's a great team. And I'm riding with it. I'm confident. I feel comfortable with that. I've been racking my brain for like 2 days trying to figure out what to do with the Spieth thing and Tokyo and no cut and all this bullshit. and I'm going JT Rory. Let's fucking go. All right? All right. So those two guys. So thought about Paul Casey only because of that Pebble Beach thing, but then I decided the Pebble Beach thing might be bullshit. So I said no to Paul Casey. Let's see. Bryson had some alarming quotes. Louis 20% owned. That's too much. I don't like Berger and Scheffler at 22%. I mean, the ownership is a little bit out of control. I mean, one or two of those guys might hit, yeah, but we'll see. We'll see. I have Rory as my one and done, by the way. I don't know if I probably mentioned that. My dad's taking DJ. He's excited. Thought about Finau. Got talked out of that. I thought about Webb. Webb on Bermuda, playing a little bit better. Wedges, I had Webb last year. But then Webb's almost 19, 20%. Everyone's taking Webb Simpson there in the 8s. Well, you guys know I like to zig when everybody else zags. This one's going to shock you. This one's going to fucking shock you. I actually played this guy in this event last year. I think I got a T15 out of him. Same score as Scotty Scheffler, by the way, last year. I'm going to play Abe Answer. I'm going to play a 12% owned Abe Answer. I'm going to pass on a 20% Webb, which is deserving. I think Webb's a better player. Fitzpatrick, 17%. And I'm going to play a 12% Abe Answer at 8,300. Now, he is 35-1, and he's like plus 260 to finish in the top 10, which is better odds than Neiman and Cam Smith, which are right around next to him. This isn't a 25% owned Abe Answer. This isn't a week where everybody's picking him. This is not a it's not one of those Abe Answer weeks. And maybe I'm getting too cute, but this is just like, maybe I could get away with playing an Abe Answer. If he showed up in the top 10, it would surprise nobody. Surprise nobody if Abe Answer ended up in the top 10. He's finished 18th and 15th here. Like I said, when he finished 15th, same score as 22% owned Scotty Scheffler. And for $800 less and, half the ownership, I'm getting a guy they tied last year. He was 14th at the Olympics. All right. He was second at Quail Hollow. I told you, somebody mentioned those Quail Hollow greens being the same. He was second at Heritage. I don't know if they were Bermuda greens or not. If they were Bermuda greens, that's relevant. If they were overseeded, when Abe Answer finished second at Heritage, it's totally irrelevant. But last year, when he finished 15th, 67, 75. Killed him. The weekend, 65, 66. That's fucking good, man. 67, 75, 65, 66. That's a weekend. I just think I'm getting up. I think I might be stealing Abe Answer here. Might be stealing him. I don't have all the ownership numbers for everybody in that range, but I'm very comfortable with 12% owned. He's 35-1. That's very low for somebody at 8,300. Like I said, Cam Smith's 45. Kerry Connors is 55. Neiman's 50. And Answer sitting there at 35. Don't know. Might be. It's not like a great play. It's not a great bet because his number isn't high enough, but it's low enough where it's like, oh, that's interesting. It's interesting. Might be a good DFS play. That's the point. Might be a good DFS play. And what is it? It's a good DFS play. Not a good win bet, though. All right. So I'm going to play Abe Answer. You can call me a fraud all you want. I stopped caring like 3 weeks ago. So down to the sevens. Bermuda grass greens, right? There's a lot of water, right? What if Sungjae Im goes off and finishes in the top 10? His mind's clear. Pressure's off. He doesn't have to think about it anymore. He can just go out and play, collect a check, and he's on Bermuda grass greens, and he's just got to go out there and make a bunch of birdies. Would anybody be surprised? I wouldn't be surprised. Like, oh, Sungjae Im, free of the burden of military service, doesn't have to think about it for a little while. Now he could go out and play. Oh, shit. How did I miss that? Sungjae Im on Bermuda grass greens. There's a lot of water, just like at the Honda where he's won. Why? Sungjae Im, he's only 5% owned? How the hell did I miss that? Well, you know what? I didn't miss it. I know he finished 35th here last year. That's fine. Maybe the week before a major, yeah, bigger fish to fry. Maybe that was part of the whole military service thing. Who the hell knows? I don't know. Who cares? It doesn't matter that he finished 35th last year. If he finishes 6th this year, who's surprised? Who is surprised? Are you surprised? Well, you shouldn't be, because it's fucking golf, and he's good, and he plays his best golf on golf courses with Bermuda grass greens, and he's a good player, and he's free, and he can just go out and play and cash a check, and then get some rest and get ready for the playoffs, whatever he wants to do. But nobody's talking about him. He was the talk of the world last week, and now nobody cares. They're all playing Harris English. And let me just say this about my good friend Harris English. All right? That guy's 23% owned. He's 35-1, and he's 7,600. People are betting him. People are playing him on DraftKings. I know he's coming off a win. I think there's something wrong with the models. I think that there's no strokes gain data from the Open. And people are just like forgetting other like events, or because the stats aren't included. So maybe his numbers look better than they actually are. I don't know what's going on. I know he's won here before. But he's like, this is a Cameron Tringali situation. How are you playing Harris English at 23% ownership? Give me Sungjae Im at 5. At 5. What are we doing? Steve, you want to bet a guy? Bet Sungjae Im at 70-1. There you go. Couple bucks. Enjoy yourself. $5. $10. All right, 70-1. That's not bad. Have some fun. So I'm gonna play Sungjae. I don't understand the Harris English thing. I mean, I do understand it, but there's got to be a point. It's like, oh, well, you know what? Why don't you just say to yourself, you know what? I liked Harris English, but his ownership is too high, and that's just dumb. I shouldn't do that. Or you could say, well, you know what? I play the chalk every week, and every week the chalk's been coming in, so it doesn't really fucking matter what you say, Nagel. Okay, you could go that route too. I still think it's dumb. You do whatever the hell you want. I'm going to play Sungjae Im, and we'll see what happens. I have no real thoughts on like Kokrak or Harmon. People like Sergio a lot. I've been playing Sergio for like a month. Can't play Sergio now. This is like Harris English. Now everybody's playing Sergio. Not feeling it. Not feeling it. Again, I don't know what the numbers are saying. I don't know what's going on with the models. Don't love Sergio. So I talked about Adam Hadwin before, right? About the odds discrepancies and trying to find value and trying to take the thinking out of it. Like maybe I should just pick 3 guys that I like and then let the numbers and the value and the odds and let something else dictate to me some other names to fill in the blanks. And even if I don't like them, just play them because that's what you should do, because that's the smart thing to do. And what I've been doing hasn't been working. All right, so I'm putting that theory to the test because my season is over and we're just playing out the string and we're trying to work on stuff to see if we can get better for next year. And if this works, then we got something. So Terrell Hatton is mispriced, right? He's $7,400. He's 55 to 1. Sergio's 70 to 1. Price right next to him. Adam Scott's 71. Billy Horschel's 70 to 1. And Hatton's 55. Now, and not only that, his top 10 odds are plus 350. It's not bad. It's really more of a world ranking thing. Hatton, he's ranked 13th in the world, and Harmon's 43rd, and Sergio is 52, and he's 13th. It's like one of these things doesn't belong. Now, he's been playing like crap. Another guy bogeyed the last hole to miss the cut at the Open. Thanks, Terrell. It happens. Golf is hard. He's played great at Bay Hill in Florida, which I'm pretty sure is Bermuda. Grass greens. Mentioned the Heritage before with Abe Answer. I don't know if they were Bermuda grass greens at the time. I'll probably get an email or a text at 5 o'clock tomorrow morning from my buddy Steve telling me that Heritage was overseeded. But so it might be relevant, might not be. Pretty sure Bay Hill is Bermuda grass greens though. So I'm gonna stick to that one. I don't really love Terrell Hatton. He's 15% owned. All right. Now, he's not 23% like Harris English. He's a little less than Brian Harmon. I don't love Hatton. This is not a gut play. This is not like I don't love Hatton this week. I wish I could. If I had my druthers, I'd probably take Hatton out and I'd probably play like Ian Poulter, who's been playing well. He's been getting hot. He's been having hot rounds, whether it be with the putter or what have you. He's a Bermuda grass guy. And Ryder Cup bullshit, like whatever you're hearing about Sergio, you can say the same thing about Poulter. A couple of weeks ago, you were hearing all this shit about Poulter, and that's when I was playing Sergio. And now everybody's talking about Sergio, so now I would play Poulter. But I'm not going to do that. I'm going to stick to the discrepancy in the odds and the pricing and the value of getting the 13th ranked player in the world for less ownership and less of a price than Harris English, who might actually be ranked higher, actually, now that I think about it. But he's probably not as good. If that was a Ryder Cup match, Hatton versus Harris English, who are you going to pick? I know who I'm going to pick. Anyway, so again, I don't love the Hatton play, but I'm going to stick with it because that's what the numbers are telling me to do. And I need all the help I can get. All right? I was trying to figure out why the Sam Burns thing was happening. Why it was so such a prominent pick. Why everybody loves Sam Burns so much. Then I remembered Bermuda grass. Same reason I like Sung J M. Bermuda Burns, right? Guy hasn't been relevant since he walked off the golf course at the PGA. I don't understand it. I could be wrong. Prove it to me. I'll be all right. 6,900. So I got one more cockamamie theory for you before we go. You know who's got a great record here? Phil Mickelson. Phil's got a great record here. And Brian Harman, 16% owned. I think he's got a 6th place finish here, but I think he also has like 3 miscuts. Whatever. It's Brian Harman. But maybe. How about this for our cockamamie theory? What if this golf course is set up for lefties? Right? Now, you have the whole Phil thing and Pebble Beach, and yeah, okay. All right, maybe. Phil always plays good at Pebble Beach. Plays well here. Maybe that it's a comp, correlation, smaller greens, short grain, whatever. But what if this golf course is set up for a lefty? I could be wrong. Could not be any advantage to a left-handed player. And if I'm wrong, who cares? It's a theory. You're taking a cam chance. That's what we're doing. We're taking a shot. Because if we're right, yeah, then we got something. And if we're wrong, who cares? We're probably going to be wrong anyway. My boy Bobby McIntyre was all the rage. Well, for me, it was all my rage at the 3M, and I couldn't get over. In fact, if he can fit, I was tired of hearing that he doesn't play well in America. If he can finish 12th at the Masters and finish in the top 10 at the Open Championship twice, then he can fucking make a cut at the 3M and perform. Well, after he made a birdie on 16 to get under the number, he promptly made a bogey to get back at the number, and he missed. But now he's 5% owned. All right, he's 100 to 1. It was like 20 to 1 2 weeks ago at the 3M. Slightly different field. Sneaky good field this week. And this is another guy who's he's ranked 50th in the world or 48th. 48th, WGR, the same price as Phil and Westy, Max Homa, Cameron Champ, Carlos Ortiz. I don't know. I'm playing the left-handed angle, which I know is kind of weak. He's got the same odds as Kisner, who's 6,800. His top 10 odds are 7 to 1, which is low for somebody at 6,600. I think he might be good. He might be good. He was good at in the match play, the WGC match play. He had a T9. He beat DJ. I'm taking a chance. I'm going back to the well with McIntyre. He missed a cut on the number. Who knows what would have happened if he made the cut at the 3M. Could have had a good weekend, just like many guys do. Same thing with Hatton at the Open Championship. I mean, that McIntyre at the Open Championship made the cut on the number, ended up in the top 10, and then misses the cut at the 3M. Both of those guys recently missed cuts on the number, and I'm just going to give them another chance. So I like JT and Rory. I like Answer and Im. I don't like them. I'm playing them. And I have Hatton and I got McIntyre. So a little Euro Ryder Cup flavor, a little American Ryder Cup flavor, and a little international flavor in the President's Cup team. Well, little mix and match, a little bit of everything. Some like computer picks, some of my own picks, fading a bunch of guys. Kind of worried about Tokyo, kind of not worried about Tokyo. Who the fuck knows? I don't know anything. So, listen, I'm done. It's 9 o'clock. Thanks for watching. Oh! At the Barracuda. This one I like. 40 to 1. Adam Hadwin. who we talked about a lot already. Adam Hadwin popped a little bit last week, playing in Reno Tahoe. Now, Adam Hadwin loves that desert golf in the La Quinta, little Poa mix. Just call it a hunch. Now, I've been awesome. I've been awesome in the alternate field events. I got a win with Brandon Grace. I lost in a playoff with JT Poston at the Barbasol. I like Adam Hadwin at 40-1. That's a bet. I parlayed that with JT and with Spieth in a double with Adam Hadwin and Nick Hardy on the Korn Ferry Tour. So I got a lot of stuff going on with doubles and whatnot. I haven't done my bets on these guys. I don't know who I'm going to bet. Maybe Sung Jae. Maybe a little bit on Answer. But JT. I think JT is going to win. I do. JT was just in Tokyo with Xander winning a gold medal, with Morikawa winning the Open Championship, and then Patrick Reed, who probably doesn't even want to talk to. And, maybe coming out of that with all right, you know what, it's time. And he's defending champion here, and he sucks, and nobody's playing him, and he's seventh highest price golfer. Or seventh lowest price golfer. No. Highest? Yeah. A little disrespectful. And if JT won this tournament, nobody would say anything. No one would be surprised. Including me. Would like a JT Adam Hadwin parlay, though. That'd be fucking sweet. All right. I am going to hit the, whatchamacallit? If you guys want to talk about anything, we can. If not, you don't have to like the show. You don't have to subscribe. You don't have to share. You don't have to do nothing. All right? Thanks for watching. Appreciate it. Send me your ideas for Listener League for the fall and for next year, what have you. And we'll go from there. All right? All right. Thank you. Bruce Buffer, it's time. I don't know what that means. Answer week. Bending to the window on Hadwin. It's a good idea. I like that. Big fan of parlays. I'm a huge fan of parlays, Charlie. Is Xander in a no-cut event? Screw you, CJ. Brooks by 5. I know you like Brooks, Charlie. I'm not there with you. Bummer the Northern Trust doesn't happen next season. Yeah. That is. I've gone to that tournament a lot. Try, I didn't know you liked that. Yeah, I am a little bummed about the Northern Trust. Next year, this is what I think is going to happen. The second playoff event, that BMW, that's going to end up here somewhere. That's going to be your rotating playoff event because that doesn't really have a home. So that'll rotate. They'll have the Memphis, then the rotating spot, and then East Lake. Now they'll go up to Boston. They're going to be in Delaware next year. I might go down there to Delaware for the BMW. No Fitz chatter. He's due. Well, it's in Delaware next year. That's not far. Glad you like no Fitz chatter. He's due. Well, that's fine. I mean, if you like Spieth and you like Webb and that's what the direction you're going to go, then fine. Play Fitzpatrick. I played Abe Answer at significantly less ownership. Well, maybe not significant, but lesser ownership at a lesser price. And that's why I play and I suck at this. So I'll be at Northern Trust this year, half Thursday ticks. Oh, that's nice, Gio. I'll be around. Come find me. Hope you're right. What is less prestigious, Chiquita Open or Olympics? You're an idiot. Big fan of TPC Boston. Charlie, so am I. Got to get back there, my friend. Gio, you live around here? I thought you lived in, Wisconsin or something. Maybe, Pennsylvania. Maybe not Wisconsin. But I don't know. I don't know where you're from, Gio. Maybe I should. Apologies. I'm trying to get a credential for the Northern Trust. Staten Island. Oh hell. Well, you might as well be in Wisconsin. I have nothing bad to say about Staten Island. I'm just being hilarious, obviously. All right, anybody got anything? We're running out of steam here. I want it in the listener league next year, Steve. I mean, you're gonna have a problem with this. Forgotten Borough, yeah. How do you get a credential? Don't worry about it, Jake. All right? And the one and done. All right, Steve. We'll talk in the offseason. Figure it out. I will help you. But, God, try not to be a huge pain in the ass. I'm in Boston. Love to meet you, Eagles. Make the listener league bigger. All right, how much bigger? Hi, Coach. Coach, I've been giving you a hard time, and I just want to apologize. I do want to apologize. I've been a little rough on you, and I shouldn't do that. You really annoy me, though. You really push my buttons. That's part of it's on me, but I mean, I got my Xander thing here. I appreciate that. You hooked me up with tickets to the Northern Trust and one. You're like, I don't want to forget those things, but just because you did something nice to me doesn't give you license to bust my balls incessantly to the point where I don't want to talk to you anymore. Is that fair, or am I out of line? All right. I don't know. Anyway. Just don't be such a huge pain in the ass. I don't think that's asking too much. Like, we're either gonna if we're gonna be boys, then we're boys. Then you don't treat your boy like disrespect's like too serious. It's just don't be like an asshole. I don't find being an asshole charming. At least with like Twitter friends. It's just, I don't know. You either get it or you don't get it. And if you don't get it, then I don't have any use for you. But then again, I know that I'm very sensitive. I know that I have a quick fuse. So I have things I need to work on. Yes. All right. Don't use you. All right. I'm not going to sit here and talk to these people. Coach, the show's over. You missed it. Go back and watch the replay, just like everybody else. I don't like my picks this week. Whatever. All right. Anybody got anything? I'm going to go. Freaking hot. All right, Coach, I'm going to tell you real fast. Because you're a pain in my ass. I like JT. I like Rory. I like Abe Answer. Sung J Im. Terrell Hatton. And Bob McIntyre. That's my team. I'll pay you, no problem. Thanks. I suck. He hates me. All right. Steve, I'm not worried about the money. I'm worried about you using your phone to put picks in. That's what I'm worried about. I'm worried about you remembering a password. That's what I'm worried about. All right. I don't want to have to hold your hand through the whole thing. That's what I'm worried about. I'm not worried about you paying. You can handle that. The AC is on, but I'm sweating profusely. It's the coffee. I don't know. Maybe something's wrong with the air conditioning. All right. Thanks, Coach. Yeah. Well, I did a whole show explaining how I came up with the guys I came up with. But since you just went to the back of the book, you don't need to watch. All right? I'm done. Thank you very much. Next week, I think, is the Wyndham. I'm not even sure. Oh, and Coach, I like Hadwin in the Barracuda. I think you can get 125, 150, no problem for 2. I don't know what that means. All right. See you, Joe. Thanks. I don't know who he's talking to. All right, I'm going to go. Thank you so much. Have a good night, and I will talk to you next week for something. Wyndham, I think? Yeah. All right. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.